Hey guys, you're watching Just Hoop Talk podcast on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and to our podcast on all streaming platforms. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Just Hoop Talk with Justin Henry, Will Thompson, and today's guest, Stockton Kings guard, Marcus Graves. Marcus, what's happening, man?
What's good? What's good?
What's up, dude? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How you guys doing?
Man, good. Trying to stay out of trouble, man. Just
Yeah.
navigating through this crazy 2020, bro.
Yeah, I feel it. I feel that for sure.
Man, so appreciate you coming on. We really want to just talk to you a little bit about your career, what you have going on, find out a lot more about you, the player, the man. So let the people know, man, just a little bit of basic background behind you. Who is Marcus Graves?
Yeah, I went to Sacramento State. I played 4 years there. I was there for 5 years. So I redshirted a year. I had back surgery. I moved around a lot as a kid. My dad coached in the NFL for 15 years.
He did?
Yeah, he coached. He was a wide receiver coach
Okay.
for 15 years. He's retired about 3 years ago. So, yeah, I moved around a lot, going from team to team. So I got to see a lot of things, got to play a lot of places and got to meet a lot of good people. So that was cool. Sac State was cool. And then, now I just finished my first year at Stockton. And it was a great year, and it ended short, but I'm excited for next year for sure.
Yeah, man. I want to find out a little bit more about that. You said, you kind of went through that process of being a player that was a coach's son. Obviously your dad coached in the NFL. How did basketball even come to you? Obviously your dad was so much involved in football.
Yeah.
How did basketball become the thing you went with?
I played every sport when I was a kid. I played basketball, soccer, baseball, football. So I played everything. My parents never really pressured me to play one particular sport. They just wanted me, be active and have fun with my friends. So I was never really pressured to do anything I didn't want to do. And then basketball was just, the one that came out on top for me. So that's how it happened.
Love it.
That's so, man. I want to talk to you a little bit about just kind of how you got to where you are now. Like, talk a little bit about, because you're a little bit undersized as a guard, and you went to a smaller school, but you still made it to the G League. That's a huge accomplishment. Talk a little bit about that and just your drive and your motivation. What got you?
I think that's something that just followed me my whole life. I think it just even goes with me moving around a lot. Everywhere I've gone, I've had to restart and kind of prove myself again because nobody knows me in the new city that I live in. So I think going to a smaller school was just the right thing for me. Just because I had to prove myself again and again and again, and just keep doing what I've been doing my whole life. So it wasn't really anything new. But I think I have fun with stuff like that. I have fun with proving myself and proving people wrong. So yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and you mentioned moving around. You mentioned, Will mentioned obviously a little bit undersized, but talk about what were some of the struggles that you had as a player? Because we have some younger listeners that are taking this stuff in and want to hear from somebody like you. What kind of adversity did you have, or what was maybe one of your biggest struggles progressing to the professional career?
I think it's just there's so many politics in sports. There's so many you see all these rankings and all this stuff, and I was never a kid who was ranked. I was never a kid who got all the media attention. So I think kids really get discouraged when they don't see that stuff. But there's so many great stories out there about guys who have never had that. Take John Morant for instance. He was unranked for a while. He went to Murray State, and he was number 2 pick in the NBA draft. Like that's crazy. I mean, it's just a testament of showing no matter how hard you work, people are gonna find you if you're a good player. So that's all that really matters.
That's true. And so Sac State was the school that found you, came up here. Sacramento, we're obviously located in Sac. How did Sac State find you, and what was the Sac State experience like for you?
It's actually super funny. So when I moved out to San Diego my senior year of high school, so I pretty much had to restart my whole recruiting process. I had all the schools around the East Coast. I lived in Charlotte, North Carolina at the time that were recruiting me. They all just fell off, just because they could find a kid who's same skill set as me in a closer area. So I moved to San Diego. I played my whole senior year with no offers, no really interest. And we played a school, San Marcos High School in San Diego in the state playoffs. And I think I had like 30 something points, and the coach was like triple teaming me, and yeah, it's pretty funny. We actually became really good friends after. But he called Sac State and just told them like, there's this kid at Westview High School that you guys really need to look at. So then Sac State called me, and I was there right away. So. But yeah, and then I went to Sac State. I had a really good time at Sac State. Coach Katz, a great guy. The whole coaching staff, and a lot of great teammates at Sac State that I'm, lifelong friends with. So yeah, awesome. I have no complaints at all about Sac State. I had an awesome time.
That's awesome, man. And so obviously Sac State process happened, balled out. What happened? How did the G League conversation come about and the professional career start?
Well, yeah, I work out with Gus Armstead in the summer. He, trains a lot of the SAC guys, a lot of the pro guys in SAC. And I was just, every summer after Sac State, I kind of just went up there and kind of just played against the pro guys and, got better every single year and tried to prove myself. And after my senior year at Sac State, I really put in a lot of work. And I was talking to my agent and decided that was the route I wanted to go with. I knew that, because I played against a lot of the guys in the G League. I knew I could compete with them. So, I wanted to, see what I could do in the G League and, just compete. So, yeah.
No, that's super dope, man. And so I'm glad that happened because obviously we had the chance to connect, see you play, man. Obviously I like your game and the way that you're polished, man. Talk about your experience with the G League, with Stockton Kings, man. Because obviously it's not that too far of a step from the ultimate goal, which is playing in the NBA. And there's a lot of people chasing that dream. Talk about the experience playing in the G League and kind of how that's molding you into the player that you are now.
Yeah, no, G League was a great experience for me. A lot of guys I think are, not as high on the G League just because I guess the money's not too high. But yeah, like you said, it's the step right before the NBA. And, I played with guys who are in the NBA this year. I played with Tyler Ulis, Isaiah Cannon, Cody Demps, who got a 10-day. So, yeah, I played with guys who had NBA experience and, really taught me a lot. And, it was a great experience for me and something that, I'm really looking forward to learning a lot more in the years to come.
Yeah, what's really interesting, like from afar, just watching you play, like we definitely saw you develop as the season went on. Definitely saw your role really developing with the team. So what was it like just having the door shut? Like, what was that? Just the season ending, everything got shut down. What was that like for you? Where are you at mentally now?
Yeah, I think I was one of the more disappointed people just because my experience in the G League progressed so well as the season went on, and I felt like I was playing my best right at the end. So. I was a little disappointed just because I felt like I was right there. I was getting to, how I wanted to play and, how our team wanted to play. But yeah, it was, you can't control things like that. So, we just wanted to make sure everybody was safe, make sure, all of our families were safe and, basketball will come back around sooner or later.
Man, it's so true. And that kind of took everything by storm. It quieted everything down. People got to sit in their houses for a while. And it also brought out other conversations because I think that's the beauty of sometimes when things are dark, obviously new light comes out. And obviously this is something that had been worked on before, but now college players have entered the fold. College players are now, or high school players, are starting to make the leap from high school to the G League. What are your thoughts on this new competition? Because we got 3 highly recruited prospects that are going to be playing now in the G League on a separate team. Got a new coach. I think Brian Shaw is the coach of that team now. What are your thoughts on just this whole new dynamic for the G League?
I think it's a great move by the NBA. There's guys, Jalen Green, as you mentioned, who obviously, God willing, is going to be in the NBA in 2 years. So, he's a guy who doesn't necessarily need to go to college right now. But I think the thing that was most important that they did was make sure that when they do want to go back to school, that the NBA would pay for it. I think a lot of people are going to like that a lot because it's not necessarily that you're just skipping school. It's just that you're not going to school right away. Right. So I think a lot of guys are going to, fall in love with that until the NCAA makes some changes. But yeah, I think it'll be great for them. They just get to focus on basketball and getting better and, working towards their end goal.
I think one thing that's really interesting too is I don't know what your thoughts on this, but it's kind of raised the profile of the G League also,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like
Yeah.
guaranteed more games on TV and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be great for not only those guys, but raising the money in the G League for other guys as well. And there's guys in the G League right now. Andre Ingram, who's a longtime vet, is trying to start up a players union in the G League, which would be great for everybody. So. A lot of things in the G League are moving up, and I'm happy to be a part of it and happy to see it grow.
Yeah, you mentioned the growth and a lot of that being, the younger players coming in, but then also supporting kind of their dreams and visions. What are some other things that you have interest in outside of just hoop? Because I know that hoop becomes a business at some point, and I'm sure that you're probably noticing that now that on the professional level, what that can entail. What are you looking at, for yourself? Like, what are some other interests that you have outside of just the game of basketball?
I actually, I wanted to, talk to Will about this. I actually have been getting into photography as well as you, Justin. I've been getting into photography a lot, and I talked to Justin about graphic design. He said Will's really good at that stuff. So I'm really interested in that type of stuff. I just got a new iPad. We got a camera at the house, so I'm just trying to figure out those things, figure out how to work everything.
We got to connect on that for sure.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, no, for sure. So yeah, I'm really trying to get into that and just see what I can do because I just like having fun, like doing different things outside of basketball. So seeing what I can do with that.
Yeah, and even another thing is this time obviously there's a lot of people inside their house probably picking up new hobbies, working on old ones. But there's, as I mentioned, we have sometimes a younger crowd listening to us, the youth too. What's your message to like the younger players, or what are you doing to maybe potentially help, during this time in any way that you can?
I think the biggest thing about quarantine that helped me was learning just how to be more disciplined than I was, because you're sitting in the house, you can be lazy, but I had to make sure that I was working out every single day. Whether it was working out hard or whether it was just me taking a rest day and getting my stretching, making sure my body was okay. And then I've been trying to start to eat super great. Trying to make sure and watch what I'm eating. It's been tough, because you're just in the house, you're bored. When you're bored, you're hungry. Yep. So I think a lot of things is just discipline, man. Just being disciplined as a person, being disciplined as a athlete. And you'll see great things come from that.
You and Cody did a camp too, right?
Yeah. Me and Cody did a camp. That was super fun. I think it was a great success. Justin helped us with that. Just getting kids out of the house, whether it's for an hour a day. Everybody just cooped up in the house. But just getting kids active and letting people know that us as pro athletes are here for them and to help the younger generation.
That's dope, dude. So coming out of all of this, man, the NBA is going to look a whole lot different. First, I want to get your opinion on that too, but the NBA is going to look a whole lot different. The G League probably will be pushed back a little bit as well, I'm assuming. Summer camp, who knows what's going to happen with that, man. Talk about the new NBA and just your thoughts overall on what this is going to look like coming out with this 20. They just recently announced, obviously, the 22 teams are going to be involved, and then the pushback start of the season in December now. What are your thoughts for yourself? I'm more curious about you. Like, what are your thoughts for yourself on staying in shape through that time and creating opportunities with such a big disparity in the time now?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think it's tentative that the NBA will start on December 1st next year, which means G League will probably start mid-December. But I think it'll be fun. It'll be fun to see how everybody's doing. It'll be fun to see who was working out and who wasn't. So I think it'll be cool. They get to finish out what they started. Obviously, I wish we could have done that in G League. Yeah. But no, for sure in the NBA, I think it's the right thing to do. Guys who are at the end of their careers, looking to leave a legacy. I think it'll be great for them to play it out. And I think I like the end of the year start for the NBA moving forward. I think it's good that. Because football kind of takes over from September to about December, so I think the NBA starting right in December, I think it'll be good, for them to push through the summer and end in late August or in late July. They'll end up ending. So I think that'll be good for them moving forward.
Yeah. What team did your dad coach for? I'm about to look that up.
Yeah, he coached for 6 different teams. He coached for the Bills, the Browns, Lions, Titans, Panthers, and he finished with the Chargers.
Oh shit.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So he's been around. Yeah.
That's why you moved around so much. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Few different cities, dude. So for you, man, what's the goal on the court next year, man? I know you probably have a few different options that you're weighing, looking at different things. What's on the table for Marcus Graves, and what do you want? What's kind of your ear and goal for next year?
I think it's just to apply everything that I've learned this year. I think I learned so much. Just from obviously like the guys I mentioned earlier. Just how to be a professional player, and then just picking up new skills that I saw that I had deficiencies in, I guess you could say, this year. That really just take that next step. I think I played, I think I had a average rookie year. I think I could have done little things better, but I also surprised myself a little bit and saw that I started really slow, but I saw myself progress every single day, which was very encouraging for me. So just keep building on that, and just be ready to take that next step next year, and they can have a great year.
Yeah, man. No, I love that, and I think that's a testament to you. There's a lot of people who would probably say, "Hey, I deserve this or I deserve that," and it seems like you were able to take this in stride. You said, "What I developed as a player. Yeah, the year was cut short, but I grew and matured and pushed." And I think that's a testament to a lot of hard work in your development. Do you see a lot of the guys coming back? Is that you think that the energy is still there, or do you think that the season's too far off? They're going to want to look elsewhere.
I don't know. That's tough. Obviously I know money will be a big factor in that for a lot of guys. But I think that it'll be interesting to see how overseas teams, their leagues start up, and because the money might not be as well over there, just because they've been off for so long, they haven't had income. So I think it'll be interesting to see how things play out. A lot of overseas people are saying they're going to start right where they usually do in about August or September. So we'll see. I don't know. It'll be interesting for sure.
Yeah.
That's what's up, my man. Well, hey, appreciate you coming on, man. And I think I'm excited for this season, man. I think that there's a lot of things that could happen. I don't know. It's a lot of unknown right now, but like I said, I appreciate you coming on. I know Will and I've been waiting on this one, man. So let the people know, where can we find you? On social media, or where you at?
You can find me on Twitter, 1mg_. My Instagram is Marcus Graves. I'm out here just holler at me. I like to talk basketball. I like to talk everything. So
I know you. I see you put up the Madden thing too, man. We have to get on that.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm a dog. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a dog at Madden, man.
Hey, I'm on Madden. I'm on Xbox. I play 2K, Madden, FIFA. I just picked up, so I'm on all the sports games. So just holler at me.
So, man. All right, my man. Take it easy.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
All right. Peace.
For more NBA, college, and hoops coverage, be sure to subscribe to Just Hoop Talk podcast on YouTube and all streaming platforms.